So hi guys and welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video I want to talk more about programs. Now I talked up in my previous video, I tried to explain to you how the mind, just like the computer, can be programmed. I tried to show you that we are all programmed. I even went ahead and mentioned some few programs that run within us. So in today's video I want to talk more about the program that runs us. And a disclaimer guys, it's a very windy day and I have to shoot outside because of the natural lighting, so please guys, pardon my audio issues. And as usual guys, don't forget to subscribe. So let's get into it. Now I want you to understand something. I want you to understand that most of us, actually everybody, oh, is programmed, yes. And I want you to understand that most of us don't realize that we are programmed. You actually don't feel programmed. You think that this is the way things are supposed to be. You just think these are my ideas, these are my beliefs, these are my words, these are my thoughts, these are my actions. But okay, they are your actions. But in real sense, I want to tell you that we have been programmed. That most of those thoughts, ideas, and beliefs that we hold, they are not our own. They are mostly of other people. And most of us have difficulty grasping the idea that we have been programmed. This is where we call cognitive dissonance. You cannot imagine that you have been programmed. What do you mean that you are programmed? You know, like, uh, so most of us have a difficult time grasping this idea that we have been programmed. And as I've said again, most don't think that there is anything amiss within the ideas and beliefs propagated by official outside authority. So who are these official outside authorities? These official outside authorities are people like your parents, your religious institutions. This could be your church, your mosque, your pastors, whoever is in the religious sector. I don't know them. This could be the government. This could be economic experts. It could be the defense experts. It could be medical experts, the scientific community. It is all these things that that have authority over our lives. I don't know who kind of gave them this authority, but they have some certain type of authority over us. It is the society that is around us. These are some of the things or some of the authorities that program us, or like are, programming us. So the very structure for, pardon me, I am reading this I have written a whole script, yes. So the very structure of our lives seem to depend upon these experts figuring it all out for us, telling us how it is and telling us what is right, what is wrong. That is why we have churches telling you that this is morally right and this is morally wrong. And I'm there like, how you don't you know that? That is just, you don't need the church to tell you this. This is just, you think, So but we depend on these official authorities, or these experts, to tell us what is going on. Remember during COVID, remember COVID, when the medical experts and the scientific community came out and told us that there is COVID and we cannot see it, we cannot touch it, we cannot hear it. All we know is that it's passed. Just like when you say HU, it's passed to the other person. You cannot see those microbes, And we all believed there was COVID and the whole world was shut down because of COVID. But how many of us can actually prove that there was COVID? I'm not saying it was not there, don't get me wrong. I'm just saying how many of us can actually prove it. In school we are taught all this history, um, about, for example, let me use Africa because I'm an African and I know African history. For example, in Africa we are taught that Africans were savages, Africans were civilized. We are taught that up until the white man came to Africa, that is when Africa started having history. That is when Africa saw the light. And most of us don't ever question this narrative. We just go with it and we're just like, oh yes. That example, we all know right now the world is a globe, right? We know that Earth is a globe. There was a time Earth was flat. If the Earth changes shape again in the next future, maybe 2050, 2070, we won't know, or 3020, we won't know, right? Let's say they say that the Earth is square. They will all believe that the Earth is square. Now, how many of us can actually prove that the Earth is flat? How many of us can actually prove that the Earth is a globe? Nobody. We just believe what we are told because these experts, there are people who have studied these things, they're experts, but we actually don't have any way to prove these things that we believe. Away from that, through these authorities, or through these, yes, experts, communities, and everything else, we have been taught not to think about the bigger picture, about what our reality actually means, about the purpose of our existence. We don't ever seem to ask questions that really matter. And this is because most of us have been taught that these questions are unimportant, or they have been taught that these questions are unanswerable, or they have been taught that you're not supposed to ask certain questions, that you're supposed to just believe that God is in charge of everything. You know what I'm talking about? But in real sense, we never ask the important questions. We're just taught to follow the rules as dictated by the majority, to think as our parents had thought before us, to think as their parents before them had thought. It's a whole cycle perpetuated of ignorance. Ignorance is just perpetuated. It's a whole cycle of ignorance, generation after generation after generation. Ignorance keeps on spreading. We don't really ask the right questions. And these are some of the programs that run inside of us, and many of us have been conditioned. Yeah, and I'm talking conditioning, programming for centuries that has been happening into the blind adherence, the dictates of an outside of authority. We have also been programmed to discount, negate, and fear the wisdom and brilliance of our inner selves. As a matter of fact, we're not even taught about ourselves in these things that we call schools. We just have to figure it out. And because most of us are occupied doing what life is supposed to be doing, we never even actually ask these questions. So we just, follow the path that has already been there, and we never look at any other path. So what is me trying to say in this video? I am trying to tell you that this what I have explained, that is the program that is currently running you. And most of us are not aware that this program that is running us. And I want you to understand that this programming, it is subconscious. And the subconscious controls everything about you. It's subliminal. You just never actually think about it, but the subconscious is what is actually controlling. Very few people are conscious of their thoughts, actions, and words, and deeds, and the beliefs, and their ideas. And that's why I say that most of the time it's the subconscious that is programming us. So these programs that have been inputted in us are subconsciously in us, and they subconsciously control us. Or yes, they subconsciously control us. And what I want you to understand is that we are programmed also not to question, and to just follow this program, and to perceive anything a threat that questions the motives or applications of that program. Away from that, The Matrix is a very good movie I would advise you to start with. In this video, I just wanted you to understand that there is a program running you, and you have to be aware that there is a program running you. And I want you to understand that if you do not program yourself, that there is somebody else who is programming you, and that you will be running on that program. And I want you to ask yourself, are you really sure that you want to be programmed by somebody else and not program yourself? And I also want to tell you that this program has taught us not to question the program itself. Do you understand me? Like, this program also teaches us not to question, just to follow authority. I mean, I even think about the school programming, and I'm just like, what? That's some serious programming. Anyway, I hope this video has helped you understand a little bit about programming. I might do another video to explain more about this programming, because I don't know, guys. Anyway, you guys have a beautiful day, and that was it from me. Bye bye.